Can you guys hear me all right? Let's do a quick sound check. Hopefully things are good. Sounds good on my end, of course, but you know, I get everything directly, I guess. So, see how it sounds. Let me know if my volume is all right. Let me know if the game volume is all right. I assume everything is good. But thank you all for those of you guys who are already here. Appreciate it. It's good to be back live again. It's been a while, and I know it's hard because I never get to schedule these things. So, it's nice to be able to actually get on and do it now. So, what up? What up? Welcome, welcome. Thanks for joining. Thanks for pushing me to get the stream in. That's awesome. We got lucky today because I've got a sick kid and I've got a dog that's about to give birth. So we got lucky today that we were able to fit it in. I can let's see. I can give myself a little volume. I did have myself turned down a bit for my recordings, so I can give myself a little volume there. Let me know if that's better. I still have some more some more volume I can give as well, so we don't have to stay right here. All right, lovely, fantastic. So it's funny, since I didn't really have a chance to plan on this one, I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do, so I figured obviously we could hang out and have some Q&A and stuff because that's always fun. But then I also figured maybe I would start building some of the stuff here for the next video I'm going to make, which is about the Union Pacific. So Union Pacific on the Coxton Sub, which I'm thinking of changing it to the Louisville Nashville. That session, or sorry, not session. That railroad is over here. This is the west end of town. So I was thinking maybe we could go and build up on that. So we shall see. I'll probably move these away just because they're so loud, and just move them back later. So, all right. Well, glad to know that it's good. Awesome. Well, any questions that pop up, let's just ask away. I can kind of jump around and do whatever. We can also go look at other things too if someone asks a question that would need me to look at something else, I can do that. If you guys want to see a different part of the route, we can do that as well. So lots of things we can do. All right, let's see. So over here, we have basically three industries here in the UP yard, and I've got a let's see. I've got a spreadsheet I can pull up. So let me get that real quick. Try and get away from those switchers over there. They're so loud. Let's see. So let's get this up. Awesome. All right. I'm going to put this away for now, but let's see. In Winfield Yard, yeah, we've got three industries. So night perishables, Forney scrap, and the UP grain terminal. These are the car types they take. So night perishables takes reefers and tankers. They can be loaded or empty. Well, the tankers are only loaded, but the reefers can be either one. Forney scrap takes gondolas only empty, so that means it's loading the gondolas, and then it ships them all to the steel mill. Very nice. And then the UP grain terminal takes covered hoppers, and of course they're empty or loaded, doesn't really matter, and then it can ship to any of these facilities. I would assume that's loaded. Yeah, that's loaded. So that's probably like the feed mill. It's probably a bakery maybe. I know there's a yeah, I know one of them's a feed mill, so that makes sense. All right, let's put that away. And I see I've got a question, so let's see. I do have a group question. Do you know if it's possible to recreate scenes where a train crashes into a truck, or do trains just go through them? Ah, fantastic question. So in this game, yeah, like over here, I have a crossing. So if I were to not program this crossing to make it stop cars, then when you drive a train through, the cars will just go right through them. I currently don't believe that there are any crash physics for road vehicles and rail cars in this game. I don't think that's a thing. I don't know if it's ever even planned to be a thing either. I don't have an insider line with the devs, so I don't know, but the game's been around for at least 15 years that I know of, and I don't think I've ever seen a road car here on a road spline when it gets hit by a train. I don't think I've ever seen it react. I think it just goes through them. So you can at least program the crossing so the cars will stop, but that's it. I've never seen it. So I would assume that the answer, well, I know the answer for now is no, but I would assume that it's always going to be no, which is kind of sad. But I think they've mostly focused on more the aesthetic side of the game. Making pretty routes and pretty scenery and having pretty trains as opposed to crash physics. I do know that people will set up screenshots where they do it, but I know it's not the same as like having it live while you're playing the game or something. Oh, and then favorite route both in game and in real life. Ooh, that's a good question. I haven't driven a lot of real routes, but I do know that I like the concept that I have coming forth on the North Texas Beltline, the full version. It's going to be about 140 miles, and that concept is going to be really special. So I do like that one. I think that's going to be a favorite. I think though that honestly, my personal favorite doesn't exist anymore, but there was an old Santa Fe line that ran north from Longview, Texas, and I have recently started working on a project to actually model that line as if it were not abandoned in the 50s. So I think ideally that'd probably be my favorite route. There was never a lot of action on it traditionally, historically, but like anything, if the railroad had stayed there, things could be different. But I'd say of routes that are currently already built that I've driven, I mean, I do like running locals and stuff in Run 8 in Southern California. I don't like the desert much, but I like the functionality. I like the depth. I like the immersion that you get in that route on Run 8, which I know was like kind of their big pilot route. So in Trainz, I'd probably say my favorite route to run on would probably be the Mojave subdivision, which is an old one. And then maybe I do sometimes like running on the UK routes. I know that may seem a bit weird, but the UK routes from like London to Edinburgh is not too bad. It's like 4 hours. But good question though. But it's just a tough one for me to answer, I guess. Being a route creator, I'm a little biased because naturally my routes are definitely some of my favorites, which is why I build them. But at the same time, I do want to be fair and give you an answer that actually would be something you could get because you can't get my stuff just yet. So still, good question. Good question. Let's see. Let's get my packaged and payware turned off here so we can get some reefers. Ask away. Next question whenever you're ready. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to go ahead and start putting some reefers here at Night Perishables. I'm not going to work on the industry itself just yet because I'm in the session layer. Here in a little bit, if we want, I can move over to the route layer and work on that a little bit. But for now, we're just going to toss in some reefers. Let's see. I don't want any that are locally modified. I want stuff off the download station or built in. All right, perfect. So this industry, it doesn't really matter which track the reefers are on. Everything's kind of like a pool. So, for us, that means that they can be pretty much on any track. I do want to pretty much exclusively use these mechanical reefers. I do want to get some Union Pacific ones since we are out on the Union Pacific route. And then I'm going to throw in a couple of tank cars, as if we're bringing in the coolant and stuff. But let's see, that's an MP, UP, SP. Yeah, that'd be nice. Yeah, it's not the best looking one, but it's all right. That one looks better, but it's fine. It's fine. It's still good. Let's see, that's a second Mopac. Um, Definitely don't want the BNSF. That's too modern. The setting here is like in the 70s. So, all right. Oh, just a couple more questions. Awesome. Is there a get? Oh yeah, I know these car horns. I know. My gosh. Let's see. Let me see something real quick. Maybe not that. Maybe it's environment. Hold on. Maybe I can turn traffic off in the environment. Let's see. World road traffic disabled. Oh, perfect. That was it. Man, thank you. Yeah, because that was bugging me too. I just didn't think about the fact that you can turn that off. Thanks, man. Appreciate that. All right, next question. Well, favorite railroad that mostly goes Illinois Central? Oh, that's a great one. Canadian National Territory now, but still, I know they kept that main line, so that's good. We should create some routes for that. In Lincoln, Illinois, there's a spur which was a route of IC. Oh, now it's owned by UP. Yep, IC was very prevalent, very important railroad. I think if I remember correctly, they also hauled a lot of coal. But I do believe that one of the reasons they're still, or their main line to the south at least, is still so relevant is because it's a big north-south link from the Gulf up to Chicago, like literally a direct line, I think, which is awesome. I think that's one of the big reasons the IC was so successful. Funny on this game years ago in the one of the first versions, the only coal hoppers they had were IC coal hoppers. It was kind of cool. Oh, yeah, yeah, just in general on the traffic. Yeah, no fair. That apparently that's it. So you can go to edit environment, and you can do it there, and then of course you can just turn it back on later. But yeah, for the stream it's also helpful. Man, that traffic was a mess. All right, let's see. I don't have any UP cars, do I? I like this blue Prox car. Where's the Prox blue? Not sulfuric acid. We don't need a bunch of tank cars. Let's see. Years ago when I was in college, I used to do these experiments at my dorm. I would go get liquid nitrogen from the chemistry department, and I'd have to pay, it wasn't too expensive, but I'd have to pay a little bit for it. And I would go and get a bunch of my friends together, and we'd invite people from the dorm over, and we would use the liquid nitrogen to make instant ice cream. It was always a huge hit, but I guess that's part of the reason why here at this industry on the Coxton Sub, we're going to ship nitrogen in tank cars to help cool off the perishables. To be fair, I don't think they use liquid nitrogen for that. It's probably a bit too cold. Plus, I know they'd have special cryogenic tank cars for that, or they would just ship it in those real skinny tanks on like a flat car, a box car, or something. But it's a little hard to model everything here, so we're going to make some exceptions. All right, let's get some gondolas for the scrap industry here. I think I got another question coming up. Are there any IC locomotives, train cars, etc. in the game? Ooh, I think so. Even if I don't have some installed right now, I do believe that there are some places we could get some via a third party. I do believe that Jointed Rail is probably going to have at least a couple of IC locomotives. Here in just a second, let me do a search, see if I actually happen to have any IC stuff. I don't think I would, but I'm happy to look. How's that look? That looks halfway decent, actually. It's not a bad looking gondola. Not terrible. I like these Gonexes, the Railgon ones. Those are nice. I like those. Let's see. BNSF is too modern. Conrail is too modern. CSX is too modern. Harbor Belt's not real, so that would work. There we go. Let's just do that and call it good. All right. I don't want to fill up every foot of spur length on every spur. So, all right. And then let's get some grain hoppers. I really like these Evans hoppers. First, though, let's look for some IC stuff. I think because I have my tags off. Let's see. IC. Man, wasn't there at least a locomotive maybe? I think there was a Canadian National locomotive that was lettered in the IC. Ah, yes. So here is an SD40-2. It's Canadian National, of course, but it's got the lettering of the IC. Oh, what's up, Lordies? How's it going, man? Good to see you, buddy. Sorry, squirrel moment. Oh yeah, and Howard, I see your point. Yeah, these friction bearings. Oof. Imagine operating those friction bearings in the in the 70s. Oh man. I mean, I know there were some cars that still had them at that time. Apparently, some railroads even were still using 40-foot boxcars up into the early 70s. Um, let's see. Let's keep looking for some IC stuff real quick. There's probably a couple of thousand assets here, so I don't want to spend too long on it. But that's not it. That's not it. Here we go. So they have an air slide hopper. They have a coach. These are included in the game. Here we go. Here's what I was thinking of. So here's a C40-8. It's definitely got the C in blue, but if you were to place it, which I'm not going to because it's a payware item, so I'm going to leave it off. But if I were to place it, you would see the IC markings on the side. I downloaded from Trainz Forge, trainsforge.com, this E8 and the passenger set. I did really like this. So I've got a full passenger set there that we have. What else? Here's a boxcar from the IC. I think that's it that I have. There's probably, like I said earlier, there's probably some things I could get from Jointed Rail if I wanted to. If I wanted to do an IC route. And then Trainz Forge might also have a couple of other things. I am not sure. But I would definitely look for JR, jointedrail.com. Ha! Yes, Lordies, you already know, man. You already know. I think I want to see you on Monday, right? I can't remember. School's going to be back in session by then. Monday it is. All right, let's see. Let's get some hoppers here. Going to be loading some grain up. Good questions. Keep them coming if you guys have any more. I definitely like that B&M hopper. It's a good one. BN, we're going to do the BN as well. Let's get some Trinities. If you're looking for covered hoppers, I would definitely recommend download the Evans hoppers from the download station and download the Trinity hoppers from the download station. These are excellent. Love these things. Love them very much. And of course, you know, you can't have a grain industry without some good old ACF hoppers. Let's see here. I think I have an ATSF hopper. Yeah, but I don't have my payware tags on. I don't want payware. Stay away from that stuff. I don't have a problem with payware. Honestly, I do have some payware that I bought myself, but as a route builder, I've learned that it makes it really difficult for my people who take interest in my stuff if I use payware. So I learned that on my first route, the North Texas Beltline, and every route I've worked on since then, I have since endeavored to not use any payware, and I don't regret it. Honestly, I don't regret it. Let's get some KCS hoppers. You can't have ACFs without the KCS. My favorite class 1 of the modern class 1s is absolutely KCS. I'm extremely biased. I love me some KCF. What happened on Monday this week? Did I have the wrong Zoom link? Oh, oops. I don't know what happened on Monday. Monday was crazy. I don't know. Shoot. Man, we'll have to talk about that, Lordies. We'll have to talk about that. What's up, Shortline 614? I see your hello there. Sorry I missed it a second ago. All right, let's see. Oh, next question. There's a museum in Monticello, Illinois that has some IC locomotives and rail cars, plus the railroad they own was once owned by IC. You should check it out. Oh, you know what? If I'm ever back in Illinois, I just might. I recently traveled to D.C., and on the way back from D.C., we were going to stop over in Roanoke and check out the Railroad Museum there, Virginia Museum of Transportation. But unfortunately, we were not able to because it was closed. And the weather was really bad. It was right after Christmas time, so. But, ooh, that's loud. Get these guys over here and out of my way. All right, so set those guys there. I don't think I have anything over in the staging yard here. So at the end of the route, of course, I use staging yards. I do have portals. I'm going to have I portals and regular portals at the end of each interchange. So these staging yards, of course, are where you can just park trains. I personally probably won't be sending trains to too many people. Not because I don't like to do that or because I don't want to, but mostly just because it's difficult for me to really set aside the time to be able to do that at the current stage of my life with young kids. So for me, I probably will just be using the portals to kind of reset trains and stuff. But here's the port. I haven't really done any videos on the port. It is loading extra slow, but the port here has quite a bit of good stuff on it. Sorry, it's loading so slow. It's mostly a finished scene. I just got to add a few more buildings and details and things. Maybe if I'd stop moving so much, it'd be able to load. Ah, yes, Cotton Belt fan, awesome. Yeah, it's funny when I originally built this route, I was really weird about it. I was making this into some European route, and then I was like, no, this is terrible. I'm going to change it. So I was like, man, what's a good railroad that's close to me that I want to model? And I was like, well, I like the SP, but I don't want to model the desert. So I was like, shoot, let's go for the SSW. So then I made some massive, massive changes a couple years ago to this route to try to get it to fit the bill for what could reasonably be a fictional SP or SSW route. So definitely love me some Cotton Belt. I will say that having started development on this route and wanting to learn, of course, about Cotton Belt and kind of how they do things has really made me learn a lot more about it, which I think was fantastic. So, yeah, definitely stay tuned with the videos and things because I'm not too far, maybe within this year, hopefully, going to be able to actually get it finished and get a release out there. So that'd be fantastic. It's pretty long, so if you guys have never seen a full idea of the scope, so there's Coxton, which we were just working at. We were just over here in the UP yard, and here's Nick's yard. My video that posted today was just right in this area right here. And then just for some context, here is the extent of the route. It is a northbound route, so it goes considerably far there. It's about 55 miles straight shot. So most of everything is done. The route is probably 85% done. I just am working on some finer details. So got all the track in and everything. Let's see. I got to figure out what I need to do next. Oh, it's not a bad idea about the info on the IC about that museum there. That'd be nice. That'd be nice. Oh, Norbert, nice. Thanks for subscribing, man. Welcome. Glad to have you. Thanks for hanging out with us. All right, let's see. Blue Streak Merchandise by Fred Fraley is an excellent book. Okay, you know what? Thank you for that recommendation. I will check that out. I'm always in the market for good books on railroad stuff. So, let's see. You know what? I think I need to do some work over at the Brickworks here. I apologize, it's loading a little slow. My computer it's great actually, but it's starting to show its age a bit. So, plus I have, probably a couple of million different items on this route by now. It's incredible how much stuff it has to load. Let's get some flat cars over here and some box cars and all that stuff. So this is the we make bricks here. We also make prefab panels. So for industrial or commercial buildings, and so lots of output coming from over here. We load those in box cars and in flat cars. So Cotton Belt Locomotives is another good one as well. Ah, perfect. Yes, thank you. Fortunately, since you left that in the live chat, I can go back and I can look at that later, and I don't have to write it down. Thank you. Let's see. Let's get some Cotton Belt box cars since we're a Cotton Belt route. And then I do have a couple of bulkheads that are Cotton Belt, so we'll get those too. Let's see. Throw some randoms on here. Fantastic. I do believe the blue scheme for the Rock Island came after the 70s, so or after the early 70s, so we're not going to use that one. Could be wrong there. Can't remember. It's been a while since I looked. All right, let's get some 62-foot bulkheads. Oops. There we go. SSW right there. I have been asked before if I am going to use Interactive Industries on this route, and currently I have plans of not using those. That doesn't mean I won't change my mind in the future, but the scope is already so large. I mean, let's see, if we look back at this, for example, each line item on here is an industry track. And I tallied up the number of car spots. There's like 1,600 or 1,700 different places you could spot a rail car. So it's a massive list. I think that if I went back and did Interactive Industries for all this, I think it would delay release by probably another 6 months because I'd have to balance it and program it and all that stuff. And I think if I had wanted to do that from the start, or if I knew about the JR multiple industry ones from the start, which I tested recently and I realized they actually work kind of well. I think if I had done it from the start, it would have been all right, but I think it's just a little bit too late now. But this is something that I'll be providing as like an extra third-party content thing, just to help you kind of navigate the route and know where to ship things. It tells you what car types come in, if they're loaded or empty, how much space you have for cars, and then if you load something, it tells you where you can take it on the route. So it kind of helps you operate it in a way that would make sense. So, and then of course I've got info on the yards over here, shows you how to break cars down. So later on when I'm ready to release this stuff, I'll have some videos on this to explain it because right now it probably seems way too complicated. And that's okay. All right, let's see. Here we have some, let's see, these are some coal tracks here. So let's get some coal cars. I do like these XCBQ cars. Let's see, get some Norfolk and Westerns. We know they shipped in a lot of coal. Penn Central, they were around. Yeah, look at that. Give my Pensy some credit here. All right, and those would be empty. We can put some loaded ones here on the actual coal tracks. Let's do that. Let's do this one. And let's load these guys. Oh, Norbert, that's right, man. It's a great question. Thank you for asking about like kind of the setting here. So the setting, although it wasn't intended to be this way, the setting kind of turned into being basically central to southeastern Arkansas. Basically, this area here is where the Arkansas River and the Mississippi River come together, which is just, I can't remember if it's south or north of Memphis. I feel like it's south of Memphis. Oh yeah, definitely south of Memphis. So yeah, that's kind of where this turned out, and then it's heading roughly north, and the distance is just about right for the town up here, which I haven't built yet, to kind of be more or less like Pine Bluff, Arkansas. Although I'm not going to call it that, but you know, that's kind of roughly how it turned out. And of course, I took a few liberties, so the terrain is a little bit more hilly than the geography in that actual area. So the geography is a little bit flatter, but you know, that's why it's technically fictional. So it has a general setting, and you know, I'm sure no one's going to throw a fit over that. It's going to be a lot of fun to mess with. But that's actually a really good question, and I don't actually know if anyone's asked technically where the setting is, so I'm glad you did. Ah, yes. Norfolk and Western. Oh, so 1975 is when they went blue. Okay, yeah, good. So good thing we don't have any blues then for Rock Island. Yeah, I'll have to check, make sure I haven't done that somewhere else too. All right, let's see. I think I've spotted cars here already at the co-op. I'm sorry it's loading so slow. Oh, those cows are going to drive me nuts. um, YouTube needs to verify me. Oh, yes, they haven't done that. Huh. Oh, hey, Panzer Camp Wagon. Sorry, man. I missed your hello there. I apologize. I see your question mark now. My bad. I got chats coming in so fast, which is great, super encouraging, but I missed you. I'm sorry, man. Welcome. Thanks for coming. Thanks for coming. Yeah, I see the comment about having this on the phone. I do know they have like a driving version on the phone. I think it's just driving only. I don't know if you can build any routes, and I don't know if you can download any routes. I don't know much about the mobile version, but I do know they have like a Trainz driver that you can pay for and download. I remember when they released it, there was a I think that was kind of a mixed reception at first and some skepticism, but I think it turned out all right from what I hear. Hey, Rick Dunn, great question about the spreadsheet. Yeah, so the plan currently, and I may always change my mind, but the plan currently is that the route will be a Trainz store release for payware, and it'll come with some built-in sessions. And so a couple of sessions I'm planning on, which this is the part that might change, but I'm planning on doing some scripted sessions for those who like kind of scripted sessions that tell you where to go and what to do and everything. But I know those are tough to set up, so it's going to take me some time, but I'm planning on that. And then we need to put some rail cars here. And then also I will have more of kind of an open session like this one. And for that, I will definitely be providing the spreadsheet on my website once I get my website up. I have my website done. I just need to actually like make it available. And the plan for that is to charge just a small fee for it, not very much, but just because I spent several hundred hours kind of compiling all that and getting it set up. But yes, it will definitely be available, and I will provide for free a bunch of videos kind of on how to get everything set up, how to get started. You know, all that stuff will not be behind any sort of paywall. So I'm definitely not trying to bury a lot of stuff behind paywalls either. But I do have a couple things that I feel like, you know, add so much value that they should come with the price. But I did provide two routes for free initially, and I'm very proud of those, and those will always be free. And they've had a good reception. So I think that's great. But yeah, I'm glad you asked, Rick. That's good. Good questions. When it's released or when it's ready, it will definitely be released. That was kind of the intent from the start, which I'm happy about. Let's see. I saw you add code to the hopper. Can you explain how to set the car load? I see that in the properties, but I can never get something to be visible in the car. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. Let me actually put a different car here, and we'll talk about setting the car load. So let's see. I forget what's the track mark say here for this industry. Lumber. Okay. So let's get a box car. Let's do a 50 footer. This will work. BN car. Cool. So, so yeah, when you're actually editing the session itself, you can hit the question mark here. It's a good question, so I'm glad you asked. Hit the question mark button from the car properties, click on the car, that's going to bring this up. And then you can click on whichever asset it has. And then from there, you can click the number of units and you can set up to the maximum listed for that load. Typically, if you do like a full load here, you can't do a full load in another set, so it won't take that. So this will kind of fully load it. And then if you don't like the options it has, you can, if you want, click the plus button, and this gives you a list of loads that you can add. So I have probably almost 600 or 700 different loads that I could add. But yeah, you can kind of search up what you want. So we could do this if we wanted. I definitely wouldn't add 19 loads of lumber to it just because, as you can see, sometimes it kind of doesn't really load them correctly because of how the asset is designed. And so more or less what I do is I don't typically add new loads to a car, but I will definitely use the existing loads to add some weight to it, even if I don't actually care to ship that individual actual item. But that's how you do it. Question mark, click on the car, click on whatever asset it is you want to change, click on the number, add a value, and then press check mark at the bottom, and then there you go, it's loaded. Could I open the door? I can open the door on this one. Nice. Oops, wrong door. There you go. And so yeah, you can actually see it loads in there. So it's kind of nice. And it will add a proportional amount of weight to it, which is also nice. All right. Very good questions. Thank you guys. Gotta get that cheddar in. Oh, I might have missed a question. Sorry. What does it mean to spot a train car? What about to set out a train? Okay. Yeah, great question. So when trains are actually running and they're delivering cars, to say either spot or set it out, those are like, they're two words that mean the same thing, but that's where like the train will come in here to town and it'll actually put this car at this industry and it'll leave it there. So that's either to spot or to set out a car. You're setting it out at an industry, or you're spotting it at an industry. That's kind of what that means. So that is the nature of railroading. So fortunately, railroads do a lot of that. They could do even more, but sometimes I think they act stupid and they don't want to. But fortunately, railroads do a lot of that. But yeah, that's what it means to either spot or set out. Let's see. Let's get some stock cars here. Man, why is it? There it goes. Okay, let's see. I got some 40 footers. Let's get some MKT cars. I like these. I do know that the early 70s were kind of the last years for stock cars, so there's just not going to be much of those left. Let's see, we need a grain hopper here. Let's get an Evans hopper because I like them so much. Awesome. Oh, you know what? At H. Atkins Howard, thanks for pointing it out. I actually haven't messed with 22 yet. I didn't think about that. I didn't think about the fact that 22 might be different. That's a good point. I do have 22. I just haven't installed it. I guess I need to go ahead and consider making that move before it's too late. All right, so we have a good shed here. Good sheds definitely take box cars. So let's go get us a 50 footer, standard run-of-the-mill box car. Let's see. I feel like some Canadian National just cause. Let's see. I only have two right now. That's okay. I know I have some 40 footers, but that's all right. What kinds of railroad crossing signals do you have either downloaded or are available to download? Great question. So I have, there's kind of two popular groups of crossing signals for grade crossings. You've got what's called TRCs, like the letter TRC, and then you have the letters ATLS is the other one. There sometimes people just call those Atlas, but I use the TRC ones. They're available for download for free from the download station, and I love the TRCs. So I'll show those here in just a second once I place this reefer here. Let's do a UP reefer, so that has to go back to Coxton. Let's see. Do I have some? I have some right here, I think. Yeah. Oh wait, no, I don't. No, I don't. Maybe I don't have any in this town because it's such a small town. Yeah, that's true. Okay, let's go find some where I do have some. I have some over. I know I have some in Coxton. We'll just go back there real quick so I can make this point to you. So they have some really good models, in my opinion. TRC are fantastic models. So here's your, single lane. Sorry about all the background noise. You can also do 2-lane. So there's your 2L for 2 lanes. These are scenery items, and then of course you program them. But I use the 1 lanes there. I do have some 2-lane ones over here. There we go. So you can get them to come with the gates. You can also get them to come without the gates, like these. It's kind of up to you. So I like the TRC ones. Programming them is kind of another story. There is another YouTuber who made a good little short video on how to program those. It's not too bad. But I hear some rumors, although I don't have this problem, but I hear some rumors that they don't always work so well in Trainz 2019 anymore. I don't know. I definitely don't have that problem, but I've heard of this. All right, this is something I've never shown off before, but this is an iron mine. I realized with payware that I needed to redo it, so I scrapped a big chunk of it. Originally, I had laid a 2-foot line coming up from the open pit there, working its way up around. I'm going to unfortunately take that out. Not because I don't like it, but just because I didn't find a lot of assets I liked to kind of make it look good. I kind of like things that look good. So they don't have to look perfect, but I like them to look reasonable, and so I decided to I'm going to get rid of that, and it's okay. I'm looking for those GN. I have some GN hoppers. You know what? That's because they're right here. They're modified. That's why. There they are. Yeah, these guys. So these are what will carry the iron in. I don't do a lot of unit trains on this route. I've had people ask that before. So I don't do a lot of unit trains just because I didn't model any industries that were big enough really to get unit trains. Plus also, I personally like carload traffic more because then you get to do more switching. But since we run from staging yard to staging yard, you could technically run some unit trains across the map, even if they don't go to any particular industries. So there's still options, plenty of options. All right, let's get some bulkhead cars here because we get some steel coming in. Let's see, check up on some questions here. Do you have any Griswold signals, the oldest ones that still exist but in very small numbers? Ironically, they are my favorite. I don't. In fact, I've never heard of them. I'll have to look them up now. Now I'm curious. But yeah, I don't have any. That doesn't mean there's none available. But I don't have any. And Lordies, do you have cars that hold coal? Yes, I do. In fact, right before you joined, I think we had just messed with some. Let's get this. So yeah, there's actually quite a few cars that hold coal, and I'm about to put some over here too, just because we do get some coal here. Let's see. I like to use these 100-ton cars personally. Let's do another PRR car just because I love Pincy so much. All right. Oh, no, sorry. There we go. Get that guy loaded up. Yep, awesome. And then this is a tool mill, so we get steel that comes in typically in coils. Let's get some coil cars. And then also we get it's too soon for car and rail. Yes, we can't do those. That's fine. We could do that one. So we ship it in with coil sometimes. We ship it in as plates, like flat plates. And then also we ship in lumber and then coal. And then the output is tools, which are shipped into boxcars. All right, let's see. I've been doing a lot of Santa Fe cars. Let's do a different one this time. Let's do some 40-foot cars. How about that? Yeah, 40 footers. Let's see. I'll send you a picture in Discord after to show you. Oh, nice. Yeah, cool. Thanks. Please do. All right, let's see. I wanted to show you guys something real quick. As a side note, I can go about 5 or 6 more minutes and I got to go because I got to put the kids in bed. Let's see. Northern Pacific sounds good. Let's get some 40-foot cars. These 40-foot cars are nice. I like these. Let's see. CM was nice. All right, perfect. So I did have a question outside of the stream that I wanted to talk about today. Someone asked me recently if you can use JMRI for large routes. So I don't want to spend a lot of time on JMRI because, um, I know that's not as interesting to most people as like the routes and the content and the operating is. So, but I did want to really quickly point this out. You can use JMRI to build massive routes. So I'm going to pull it up in just a second to show off kind of what I originally had built for this route, which I think was really cool. But I want to put a stock car real quick. Oh, and Lordy's, I saw your question. We'll be at MC on Monday. So good question, buddy. But yeah, we'll be at MC. All right, let's see. Stock car, Southern Pacific sounds good. So we got some stock tracks there. Okay, let's see. Let me save this right quick. I wanted to drive, but we just had such a good time building it. I don't actually want to save over the route because I didn't change the route, but okay. Sounds good. Let's minimize that. So real fast. Sometime today would be nice, JMRI. As you can see, my computer is showing its age just a little bit. All right, let's see. I've got, oh, where is it? Coxton and Johnsfield. That's right. That was the original name. So just to show locations. So here are all the towns with the exception of one, Johnsville. Actually, I do have it with all of its spurs. Wow, look at that. So you can see the length here in feet. I've got 50,000 feet in Johnsville, 60,000 in Coxton, 30,000 in Billary, 35,000 in Moscow. And then I've got several hundred rail cars already with several thousand feet used up. And all in all, I would probably have 3,000 or 4,000 rail cars I'd program on this one. But if we go to Moscow, Moscow's fun. Let's look at all the spurs for Moscow. Whew. These are just spurs, right? So you can do incredible amounts of things with JMRI. These are yard tracks, classification interchange tracks, all the exceptions. It's all trafficked out. It's crazy. Like I've got schedules, carpools, alternate tracks, things I haven't even made videos about yet. I've got all that stuff on there too, but lots of schedules. So I use schedules on this route. So just wanted to show that, you can do there. I wouldn't say it's limitless. Everything has a limit, but you're not limited to just small model railroads. So in case anybody else was wondering, there you go, my friends. All right, let's place a few more cars, and then let's see. I'm going to have to go because it's getting late for my kids, and it is what it is. I got to be a parent. That's kind of my most important thing in life right now. All right, let's see. Let's place one more boxcar here. Let me look for any last questions. Zane, welcome in, man. Good to see you. Yeah, thanks about the Q&A. Yeah, Q&A is fun. I enjoy Q&A. We will have to do some more. Oh, in the last yeah, it is a lot of data entry. It's crazy. All right, let's see. 50 foot. Let's see. 50-foot car. Ooh, high cube. High cube. Yeah, let's get a high cube. High cubes are nice. They had high cubes in the early 70s. Perfect. All right. I will say I do need to make another video on this route coming up soon, and there is one train that I haven't actually run yet that I need to make a video of. That is this one, actually two trains, 1 and 2. So we've got, I made a video on the train that runs up to the Med Mill. It just runs straight to the mill and then comes back. But I haven't made a video of the way freight that runs up the Med branch. And so that's next. So that's these two SP locos here. And then another video I could make is the local that runs from here in Billary to Fulton and Shifnal, which were two towns we were working on earlier, so I need to make that video as well. And then, of course, we have some commuter operations. Not that they were ever in Arkansas, because they weren't. But that's the beauty of fictional railroading, is you can kind of make it your own. So I have been revamping this city a lot. I still have some work to do, but you know, it does look a lot better than it did. So these neighborhoods are much nicer than the ones I had before. So, all right, my friends. Final question. Are you still thinking about the special quest I told you? Yes, I am thinking about it. I will say though that even if I decide to do it, it's going to take me a long time, man. Like, if I'm really honest with you, I'm currently booked on route creation for probably the next 2 years. And I know that sounds like a really long time, but to be honest, like I've spent almost 2 years just on this one. It could have gone faster, but you know, I got young kids and I'm really busy, so it makes things go slower. But I'm already booked up for about 2 years, and so yes, I'm considering it. But even if I were to start, it would be a long time. Doesn't mean I won't do it, but it's going to be a while because I've got a lot of the things I got to finish up first. So, but that doesn't mean it won't happen. You know, I've been here in Trainz for, man. Hey, see you, Zane. Have a good one, man. I've been in the Trainz community. I've been quiet forever, but I've had Trainz since Trainz 2004. So that's what, coming up on 19 years. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. And then I've been building routes for about 4, so not bad. But I know a couple of other YouTube channels out there. You know, they've been building routes for like 8 years, and it just takes a long time. And some of them have never released any of their routes, and it just blows my mind. Some of them are really nice too. But yeah, I think this route will be ready to go hopefully by the end of this year. That's the plan. I wanted to get it out this spring, but I'm just busy. I'm in grad school. I got to get that done. That's top priority. So, well, my friends, I've enjoyed it. Thanks for coming in, tuning in. Hopefully, I'll catch you guys on another stream soon. Sorry we didn't get to operate, but you know, I was wanting to get some stuff set up so we could actually operate, but then time got away from me. I had a good time with you guys though. Just gives me a good excuse to continue making some more videos, so we'll have to do that soon. All right, my friends, enjoyed it. Stay tuned. Thanks again, and I will see you guys next time.